But I remember hearing a cop come on an intercom and was like, get them, get them. My heart was beating so fast. Like I was Jimmy Neutron, I got a blast. Like it was really bad. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Destiny. How are you doing today? We hit 1,000 subscribers on my channel. Like I'm so freaking happy. Like thank you so much for everyone who's been subscribing and watching my videos. So today I bring you a story time, and this story is very crazy to me. Yes, this is not clickbait. This story really did happen. I really was running from the cops. So I'm just going to start from the beginning with this story and tell you guys exactly what happened from beginning to end. So this story took place senior year. That was about 2 years ago. Right now I'm a sophomore in college. So yeah, about 2 years ago. This happened on a Friday night. Me and my friends, I already made up some names for them. Their names are Janice, Tammy, and Alice. So me, Janice, Tammy, and Alice wanted to have a girls' night and like kind of like a sleepover thing on Friday going into Saturday morning, because Saturday morning we had a thing called show-offs. We're all four on a dance team for our high school at the time, and we all had to go to this thing where everyone in our district, we would go to a stadium and we would all perform the dances that we are going to be using for contest season. And so it was just like to show off like our dance moves, I guess, or dance songs, dances. Yeah. And we were like, we should have like a sleepover, and then in the morning we could drive together and go to our show-offs. We were like, okay, that sounds like a great idea. So we all decided to go spend a night at our friend Tammy's house. When we were at Tammy's house, we were just chilling, eating food, like watching movies and talking, you know, stuff like random stuff like that. So our friend Alice got a text message from one of our friends, and he was like, hey, there's a party at this place, like you should come, blah, blah, blah. And so she was telling us like, guys, we should go to this party, like we should go to a party, oh my god. Tammy was like all for it. Like Tammy loves to party. If you want to party with somebody, party with Tammy, because Tammy loves it. And so Tammy was like, yeah, let's go to this party, like oh, let's get crunk, like yeah, lit. Janice was like, yeah, let's go to this party. Like everybody was for the party. Me, I'm not really a party person. Being on our dance team in high school, we weren't allowed to go to parties. It was very strict and we weren't allowed to do a lot of things, and if we got caught going to a party, we would get in a lot of trouble, especially for Tammy, because Tammy was an officer for our dance team, but Tammy loved to party. And I was like, you know what, I guess I'll go. It's senior year. I do care if we get in trouble, but I don't care as much as I used to do, because I'm a senior and I should like enjoy it, you know what I mean? So we all decided we wanted to go to this party, and around this time it was like 10 p.m. or so, and we needed a good excuse to get out of Tammy's house because we needed to tell her mom, and we couldn't tell her we were going to a party. So we told Tammy's mom we were gonna go to the dance studio and finish learning dances or like practice, because competition season was coming up. So she was like, alright, you guys can go to the studio. So we like put on our dance shoes and put on our dance clothes and made it seem like we were legit going to the dance studio. But once we left Tammy's house, we started driving out of her neighborhood, and Tammy's neighborhood it's very woodsy, and like there wasn't a lot of people in her neighborhood on the roads at that time. And we stopped on the side of the road, we got out of her truck, and we started putting on our party clothes and just like throwing all of our like dance clothes in the back of her truck, and it was just a hot mess. We just like changed in the middle of the road and just threw all of our clothes in the back of her truck, got into her truck, and started heading to the party. Alice was getting all the text messages with this guy talking about like where the party was, and I just remember us getting very lost the entire time. This party was really far and we couldn't find it, but like we were determined to go. So for the setting of this party, it was just a normal street. The party was behind a bunch of storage units next to a car dealership. How it was is that you go off the street, and then here's like long driveway to get into the storage units, and then behind that is where the party was. There was a giant area of grass right behind that. It was probably like a mile and a half out, and then behind that there was a little neighborhood. So you have to remember this part. It's very important in the story. So we got to the party and we needed to park like in the aisle, like where the storage units were. I just remember like us pulling up, and Alice was like, guys, I really don't think we should go. Like she was getting second thoughts. And so I was like, yeah, you guys, like we should probably listen to Alice. Like Alice knows what she's talking about. Like usually Alice is right about things like this, but Tammy was really wanting to go to this party, and Tammy was like, no, we're going to this party. We're doing it, you guys. Like let's get out of this car. We're gonna party it up. We're gonna have a great time. And Tammy wasn't for it. She didn't care what Alice was saying. She was like, we're gonna go. So we get out of the truck and we start walking to the back of these like storage units, and behind was like, there was this like bunch of people back there with like a couple of trucks. They were blasting like music. There was a giant bonfire and like a couple of tables like pulled out for like beer pong and stuff like that. So when we got there, we were just like chilling. I was talking to Alice and like somebody else. And then our friend Janice was playing beer pong with somebody, and our friend Tammy got a call from someone. And so Tammy needed to take this call because she couldn't hear anybody. There was too much noise happening. It was all too loud. So she had to walk to where the storage unit Al was. So once she got there, she was talking on the phone and stuff, but then she saw cop cars coming. So she runs back to us and she's like, guys, there's cops coming. Like there's like 2 cop cars coming. We need to get out of here. We need to go. And so all of a sudden Tammy yells out like, cops, everybody get out. There's cops coming. Like we need to go. Everybody was just like those little pigeons in Nemo. They're like, moi, moi, moi. And you just see people like flying, like jumping into cars, like grabbing all their stuff. So we needed to get back to Tammy's truck, but we couldn't get back to Tammy's truck because Tammy's truck was right next to where the cop cars were coming. And so we weren't able to leave that same way because the cops would have obviously stopped us, and then, you know, we would have gotten in a lot of trouble. So we took off in the other direction. I was like, well, if we can't go in this direction where the cop cars are coming, we need to go in the other direction, which is the grass. When we knew we couldn't go to the truck, we started sprinting to the grass. And like, I have never ran so fast in my entire life. I was running so fast. Like I felt like I was in track. Like I could have been in track. I was trying to win first prize and it was on that other side of the grass. I remember just everybody running. Like everything in my mind was playing slow motion, but I know I was running super fast. Just like passed up all my friends. I was like, guys, I care about you, but like I gotta go. Like I'm not trying to get in trouble tonight. Like peace out, I'm leaving. And I remember the guy next to me, his like shoe flew off, and my friend Alice, I passed her up and I was like, peace, gotta go. I never looked back. I just remember I just kept on running forward, and there was this giant ditch in front of me. I did not think twice. I jumped that hoe. Like it was like I was flying in the air. But I remember hearing a cop come on an intercom and was like, get them, get them. My heart was beating so fast. Like I was Jimmy Neutron. I got a blast. Like it was really bad. So I was running forever, and I finally got to where the other neighborhood was. I was breathing hard. Like my chest was burning so bad. It was like, it was kind of cold outside. It wasn't like too cold, but it was cold enough to where like it was like hurting my chest. Like, so I remember like being able to like breathe for a second and turned around and started counting on my friends. Like, okay, Janice, check, you're here, got you. Alice, you're here, you okay, girl? Okay, great. Tammy, you good? This was your idea. You suck. Okay, you're here, great. So once we got to the neighborhood, we were like, okay, our logic was that a cop was gonna come and go into the neighborhood and try to like find us and, you know, like maybe arrest us or like give us a ticket. And we weren't trying to get in trouble. So we tried to hop somebody's fence into their backyard and try to like hide out for a little bit and like, you know, give it some time to like, you know, let the cops like go away and then like us come out and, you know, go home. One of our friends were on the bigger side and they couldn't hop the fence. And so we're like, you know what, we can't do with this plan. We gotta go with plan B. We gotta hurry up and get out of here before the cops come. And one of our friends, he was just like laying out in somebody's grass. Like he was so out of it. He was so tired. We were so out of breath. People were calling their moms and dads like, can you come pick me up, like please? And I was just like kind of freaking out because we needed to get out of there. Once we were like all walking, trying to get out of the neighborhood, we saw a cop car come into the neighborhood, and I remember all of us got really scared and like we were like jumping into bushes. People were hiding behind people's houses. Like it was so funny. And I remember like the cop never did anything. He just kind of like drove past and that was it. And it was kind of weird and we were all like very shook. And so we started walking out of the neighborhood and Alice pointed like, you know, in the distance. She was like, dude, there's a Taco Cabana over there. Let's go to the Taco Cabana. And you're like, you're right. Let's go to the Taco Cabana. And we were just kind of like sweating at this point. I remember like walking in the Taco Cabana bathroom and like my makeup was everywhere. I had sweat all over my face and I'm like, what am I doing here? We were all sitting there inside Taco Cabana talking about what happened, and then all of a sudden we saw a giant fire truck pass us by with their sirens going off, going towards where the party was, and they went to go put out the fire that we left from the bonfire at the party. From this point on, we're like, okay, we need Tammy's truck. And we started freaking out because A, we needed her truck, but B, what was very important, that we needed her truck because all of our dance clothes and dance bags were inside of her truck. Because we had to pretend that we were going to the dance studio. We had all of our dance clothes inside of her truck and we needed everything that was inside of her truck tomorrow morning for the dance show-offs. And if we didn't have that stuff, we would get in trouble and our director would find out and it would just be like a whole drama. We were like, we need to get somebody's mom. We need one of our moms to help us get her truck. So we knew Tammy's mom. Since we lied to her, we could not tell Tammy's mom because that would have been so bad, and we couldn't tell Janice or Alice's mom. So we knew we could only count on my mom, because my mom, she would try to help us before she would like yell at us. Like, she's like that type of mom. So we asked our friend and her boyfriend to like drop us off here and like explain to my mom like everything that happened. For some reason we couldn't get a hold of my mom. I forgot what it was, but we finally were able to get to my house. We told my mom like everything that happened, like, listen, don't get mad at us, but this is what happened. We went to a party and there were cops. We were running. Tammy's truck is still there. Can you please help us? And my mom was like, what the heck? Like, she was a little bit shook. She didn't get too mad, but like she knew she just needed to help us. So we got into my mom's car and we showed her like where the party was, and we finally got there. The cop car was still there, like near Tammy's truck. So my mom got out of the car and she told the cop like, hey, like this is their truck, they need it, blah, blah, blah. And the cop was fine with that. He wasn't like giving my mom a hard time or anything. We were able just to get the truck and go, thankfully. I know a lot of kids, I think a lot of people got in trouble that night, but we were able to get Tammy's truck and just get out of there. My mom was giving us a lecture talking about like, you should have just told the cop that y'all weren't doing anything bad, y'all weren't drinking or smoking, we weren't doing anything. And yeah, that was the case, but Janice was drinking and probably smoking, and so we couldn't tell the cops because we were all together and we couldn't let Janice go down, so we just kind of had to run and not get in trouble. So yeah, my mom gave us that lecture and we're like, all right, that was pretty bad, we shouldn't have done this. And so we took Tammy's car, we went back to Tammy's house, and we were just like, oh my god, all this happened. All of this happened like around 2 or 3 hours. So once we got to Tammy's house, Alice got a text talking about like, hey, there's an after party at blah blah blah's house, and I was just like, bruh. We are not going to an after party. We are staying here. We're gonna go to sleep, wake up early in the morning, go get breakfast, head to our show-offs, like everything's gonna be a-okay. So we didn't go to another party, thankfully. I think afterwards, like after all that happened, I'm not sure if Tammy's mom ever found out. I just remember like us being really scared that Tammy's mom would find out because we lied to her. And like we had this thing called banquet for our dance team, and my mom always talked to Tammy's mom, and I was always scared my mom would tell Tammy's mom, and we were never too sure about it, and it was just like always like, we were always paranoid about it. It was just so funny. Till this day, I'm not sure if she knows at all about what happened that night. I was very traumatized with the colors red and blue, sirens, and cop cars like that. From that time, around like a year, I was so scared of cop cars after that. Every time I hear sirens, I would like be so scared, like I felt like I needed to run. Like once I hear like whoop whoop, I was just like, gotta go. And it was just like a story to tell everyone on Monday, like, bro, I was running from the cops. Like, did I tell you that story? I was running from the cops. Hey, did you hear, like on Friday, I was running from the cops. Yeah, I'm not sure if my dance director ever found out about that. But yeah, you guys, that is the story of the time I ran from the cops. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I very much appreciate it. It lets me know that you like these story times. Let me know if you want another story time. I have another story that's kind of crazy-ish, and I would love to tell you guys if you guys want to see it. Let me know in the comments, and subscribe. I don't know if you want to watch my videos. I'm so happy we're on our way to 2,000 subscribers, so yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys in the next video. Bye!